All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another Minecraft Musings, new era. Uh, Anyways, I don't know. Been in a kerfuffle of a conundrum, having some interesting realizations, but either way, I wanted to document it all the same, like I've been doing with these things. But no, it's like as things can be even thought of or developed or planned, chances are it's already happening. So, and a good example is the laptop donation project. Now, I did wipe a few laptops, got really excited, just learned about the Red Key USB in my cybersecurity boot camp. So, I mean, it was new to me at that point. And that was only like 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago, I did the boot camp. But, I guess I've been 2 years at my current job. I worked at a noodles and company during the summer. That was actually pretty fun. I kind of missed simple work like that. Like, I mean, it's still hard work. Like, I mean, you got to be good, you got to be quick, you got to be clean, you got to be efficient, you got to be polite, you got to be like on your toes, head on a swivel. Like, that's what they always taught me in foosball. Because I was an offensive lineman, so I had to keep my head on a swivel and look for incoming players that were trying to tackle the quarterback. And I was the blind side. Not nearly as famous or special as the movie guy, but that was the position I played. I also, and actually, sorry, not to joke about that. I mean, I have watched the movie. I haven't had nearly the hardships of that. Now, granted, I had my own hardships. Like lower middle class. No, we won't even go into all that. Like, I had it pretty good. Truth be told. And again, looking at this, like, I don't have it nearly as bad as, okay, well, those are the religious rules for Christianity, and then Islam over here. Here's the five pillars. I think I stacked out, it was like an explanation of what each one was, and then where did I go put the other one? There's Psalm, Shahada, which is the Hajj. Oh, wait, there we go. This is 4 and 5. I should even make that different, but I don't know how I'd even mark that. This is, no, don't do that. But anyways, sorry, 1,300 people just died trying to do the Hajj. That was what I was trying to get to for that whole thing. Like, I have it okay. I'm alive, I'm breathing, I've got both arms, both legs. My gratitude. Like, I'm very, and not trying to rub it in anyone's face that doesn't have any of these things. Like, I mean, but it's just like whenever I start getting all high and mighty, it's like, or no, no, pity party, poor me. It's like, I don't know. I don't think it really adds up too. However, it's not completely, baseless either, and that's why a lot of people, I feel, going back to cybersecurity, try to take people's money and scam people over here because they think that, oh yeah, it's America. They all drive nice cars. They all do nice things, and it's like, not really. So, but anyways, my realization with like the good projects and stuff. So Colorado recently legalized magic mushrooms and psychedelics, certain psychedelics, which, according to Johns Hopkins, have been proven to treat addiction, PTSD, depression, which are all the main factors that lead to. I just heard the new term for it. It's not homelessness. It's housing insecure. There you go, housing insecure. Because, and I get it, like being called a homeless person, it used to be called like things like bums and like, dirty vagabonds and stuff, like really nasty names. And it's really often just times like, times are tough. And if you don't have good family structure, or say for whatever reason, there's a lot of stories of people storming out, rebelling against the parents, be like, fine, I'll go make my own way and this and that. And because of pride of both sides, or, one or the other or both sides, or just lack of communication too. It's not exactly, anybody's fault. It's more of just like everybody's fault because, human nature, we're kind of non-confrontational regularly. I mean, unless there's some way that bolsters us into being confrontational, or, some need not getting met, or a FOMO, fear of missing out, or whatever kind of, psychological attribution, or not tributary. There we go. I was trying to be all smart and stuff. Attribution or whatever. Psychological factor that would affect someone's behavioral psychology. I mean, the fear of missing out, the actually missing out. The grass is always greener. The envy. I hate to say it, right back to Christianity, like the seven deadly sins, greed and envy. Like, basically not knowing when to turn the valve off. Like, because everybody wants to be successful, do great for their family, make a lot of money, provide, like, have a happy, comfortable life themselves, and and all that. But then, like, sometimes we don't really realize when enough is enough, and it's like, oh, well, I can either slow down. I mean, a lot of times people do realize, and they start donating to charity, or they like to direct where their money goes, trying to be like still realizing if they have too much excess. And that's one of the things that I really like about laying out the pillars of Islam, because they have one of the pillars is donating a percentage of your money to the poor, to the needy. And so, or just the people that are struggling at the time or whatever. And honestly, I think a lot of it is just like taking down the love for alcohol, at least a peg or two. Like, as I mean, I don't drink now, mostly by choice. I mean, because it's almost like calling a housing insecure person a bum. It's like, an alcoholic or someone that's lesser of a human being that can't handle their liquor, you know. It's not that they can't handle it. Oftentimes, they can handle it a lot better than the average person because they are so used to it. But there's something going on in that life that's causing that drinking to be more than just a social haha. It's more like oh man, life isn't all that great, so let's go and let's go get crazy. And it's that getting crazy. And Rick and Morty is like perfect for explaining it too. Like that whole series is just like a journey of Rick through his own alcoholism, and it's just like, let's see, and I don't know a better word for it. Just like, you're going too hard, I guess would be the real way to describe it. So I don't know. And that's really with everything, all substances, which leads to all sorts of behaviors. Because even, dire straits, you want to see some dire straits, go blow all your money on a substance. And alcohol gets expensive too. Like, I mean, when I stopped drinking, I can't even explain to you what a mind, what a, see, I'm trying to stay PG with this, but just how much money was saved. It was insane. So I don't know, and not eating out all the time. Like I really try not to eat out when I can. Like even when I was dating, like yeah, we'd go on dates and stuff, and oftentimes it was very lavish. I mean, at least with my high school sweetheart, we'd go to like steakhouses and stuff, and be like, man. And I worked a lot too. I always had a job. As soon as I could work, I wanted my own money, bought my own car with cash. Like, oh, it was good. Never had to worry about asking the parents for money. I had my own. I mean, granted, I appreciated it, and I still got some from them, if I needed, or, my dad contributed a lot to my college fund, too. So, I mean, and my mom well, both of them, technically, would pay my rent through college, too. Like, it was a really cushy deal, and that's the thing. That's what I'm saying is, like, I'm not rich, but I definitely wasn't poor either. And we need to get to that point where everybody can experience that, so... I don't know. And like I was saying at the beginning of this episode, it's already being done. Like things are already happening. I mean, even just in Fort Collins, I can see like Mason Place, the apartment style housing for people that are housing insecure at the moment and transitioning back into secure housing. See, all right, already right there. Like I'm getting comfortable with it. So and it's all about the respect too, because and again, alcohol is so gnarly because and not only is it a sign of when things are going bad, it's a sign of when things are going good. You celebrate, you pop the bubbly, like you just signed a big deal, pop the champagne, like, and all of that. When in reality, people are thinking, oh, it's time to get goofy and lay down your hair a little bit, relax a little bit. But then it could just go oh so ugly. And I don't know, because that's what I mostly used it for, was like after a hard day's work, because I worked all the time. Um, especially when I started doing construction, I was like doing like actual physical labor. Because I mean, for the most part, it was restaurant work, like a few odd jobs here and there, moving stone and stuff. But like, um, you know, anyways, it's already being done. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna write a program, I think in Python, 'cause it's just the easiest. And I want to outline, or I kind of want to get back into C++ a little bit, because technically that's like one of the best languages as far as efficiency and speed goes. I mean, not because I need another job, but just because it's just fun, like programming, like being able to see something that would take you hours to write out by hand, days even. I mean, honestly, like you could just flick a couple more zeros into any of that, and it'd be like any limit, and make some task that would take you years even to write out. Just be like, done. Maybe that might take a few seconds, maybe a minute or two to actually run, now that I think about it. if you're talking about like something that would take someone years to write. But still, like my point is the same. It's like very minuscule increases in time and like energy. And that's the thing. Python is one of the worst languages, energy consumption wise. So like it's easiest to learn, one of the easiest. JavaScript seems to be like one of the most useful languages. So no, Python is still useful because it's so easy to learn. They've just made it so yeah. And you got people like Anthony writes code. I watch his Twitch, sorry, when possible. Although I feel bad because I just pop in, donate whatever bits I get because I'm in the market research group, and and it's not like I'm not rich or poor now, but I probably could afford to buy bits every now and then and actually support people, but I'm just not to that point yet. Plus, I got kids and stuff. Like, you know, kind of got to make sure their needs are met first. And yeah, we just got backpacks and shoes and, yeah. But people are already doing it. So, and really, once you kick alcohol, the hard drugs and everything else kind of follows because then it's just like, oh, okay. Because I've said it before, I'll say it again many times. I've talked to many people that have done like the hardest, like, the meth, the heroin, and they always say the same thing. It started after a beer or two, and then the night went crazy. Like, they when they were of sound mind, maybe they did. Anyway, actually, never mind. Let's not go into that. Because I honestly don't know if kids watch this. This is Minecraft. Maybe we should talk about that in Bloodborne. Um, at the same time, not to sugarcoat it either, because by fifth grade, like I learned everything there was about drugs. Like my mom or my parents, wow, law enforcement and corrections. We'll just stick with that. I don't know how much I really want to reveal or whatever, but I don't know. I think it doesn't matter anymore. Like, I mean, I knew this one dude that his brother was in the FBI, and he was right there next to me on a cot. So, so I mean, it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's what you learn from it and how you apply yourself afterwards. So, because I mean, I narrowly missed the military, and if I had gone there, whew, I have some buddies that were in the military. Crazy fools. One went way off his rocker, but I mean, I heard he's doing better now. But like, he went like mafia style there for a bit, and you know, okay, I will say this because I mean it's public knowledge anyway, but like he drove into base with like a line of like 10, 15 cops, got a DUI in the base. I mean, it's funny now, but like I mean it's not that funny that he was drinking and driving, but anyways, and then he was back working. I don't know. I don't want to put him on Front Street, but it's your choices. It's what you choose to have to do. Well, okay, so let's finish that. So he made that mistake, and then he was back working for the military as a contractor, but still in good standing and like doing good work and being a good person, like raising kids, like having a family. He turned his ways around. So, and everybody's capable of doing it if they don't die first, of either overdose or death by cop or even death by circumstance, because some of those substances, and then you go to jail and you're not able to take care of yourself, then there's a chance that you could die just from like an accidental death like that. Or in fact, I've read stories about people just even being too drunk, like alcohol or having alcohol withdrawals, and then dying in jail. Like, uh, and again, alcohol, it causes so many health problems, especially if you're overdoing it because you have maybe some depression or some PTSD or whatever. I mean, it's pretty easy to get any of that. Like, you know, a lot of it's like seeing a bunch of, famous fancy people run around in their fancy stuff, and then it's like you look at what you got. Even if you had really nice stuff, it's hard not to be like, huh, the grass is really greener over there. That's that envy. So, I mean, I started to talk about religion with a couple of my coworkers just today, and like just mentioning it, and I was just like, I can instantly tell. I mean, because we joke about it, but it's like, I don't know, if I were to like turn back into like like a practicing Christian, I don't know. I think it would cause some wrenches in the works, but I think I'm Bible curious. No, I'm kidding. I'll still take the good and leave the bad, like the crazy. Like the anti-gay stuff, it's just so stupid. Like it's about as dumb to me as killing people over wearing two types of fabric, or all the stuff that in the West Wing, that little YouTube video. I'll have to start including that in my videos just randomly, just because it's so true. He like runs down this list of things that you could kill people for, like working on the Sabbath or eating meat, or like things that you could be put to death for. Oh, and wait, I gotta say this too. So I'm arguing with some knucklehead that's talking on Governor Polis's stuff on Facebook, and Oh man. So he just rags on our governor here in Colorado, who's gay and a gamer, and he's like a tech rich wealthy person from a tech company or something. I don't know, but he's a great dude. And like one of the recent things, and of course I usually vote Democrat anyway because I just honestly think overall, like on average, they're more about helping out the poor. And it's like, and I was raised Christian, so it's like, well, that's the Christian thing to do. Like, stop whining about who pays for what. Like, are you kidding me? And most of the people whining the most, like that talk with Trump and Elon, all that was him parading around this fear mongering that New York is a dangerous place. Of course, New York's a dangerous place. Like, because of that FOMO, that misunderstanding, and thinking that other people have it easier than you, whether they do or not. Maybe they have better family structure. So right there, someone is going to feel a little left out and be like, forget this guy. Like, thinking about Wu-Tang Clan, like they were on the streets of New York and stuff. They probably did some gnarly stuff. However, to whom, though? People flaunting, waving it around? I'll tell you, my experience in downtown Denver was terrible. I took my girlfriend out. I almost got into a fight with like five, well, dark-skinned dudes in an alleyway, calling girls. And I was kind of on one, kind of on some things. But so I turn around, eyes all wide, like, what's up then? And and my girlfriend's like pulling me along, like, but we went and ate at Wally G's Fish House, spent like, I think like 70, $80 back then, back when that was even more money, like in the 90s, like early 2000s. But anyways, like still a while ago, almost 20 years. Yeah, 20 years ago. I think it was 0304. No, 0405, because it was when I could drive, because I drove us down to Denver. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, but yeah, but even some of the ritzy people down there walking around, like I just felt judged. I didn't look too bad, and I think that might have been why, like, plus my girlfriend was fine. Like I don't blame them for that. Like I mean, just the fact that they catcalled in front of me, like it was total disrespect. I mean, disrespect to the woman too. Like you could be nicer about it, but like you could just be like, "Oh dang," and that's like a respectful. You make a noise, they look over, and they know that you're talking about them, but it's respect. It's all about respect, always. You should never let the respect leave the situation, ever. There's no need for it. Like, it does you no good. In fact, it causes more problems down the road than any time you would benefit from or any endorphins that you would have in your brain. You might feel good for a second, but it's fleeting. I don't know. I grew up starting to be a bully, and I think that's what it was. And like I ended up like losing a friendship, like throwing away a friendship because I was worried like that was my path, and I was able to leave the situation, because I was like stealing pencils and stuff, like not like actually, like we started to for a little bit. Then I was like, I don't want to do this, and I flat out told him, I was like, I'm not gonna do this. I don't want to steal pencils. Like, I don't care. And he had actually stolen one of our classmates' pencil. It was like an $8 or $9 pencil. He was really happy about it, and like, but it was going to fetch a pretty price. It was a big value, and so we were just thinking dollars and stuff. I wasn't actually involved in any of that part. I heard about it later, and I knew who done it. But a pencil that nice, like they brought it up with the teacher, and the teacher was like, "All right, everybody, we're just gonna whatever, like we're gonna wait here until it shows up again." And whoever, it's like, so my buddy actually was walking, dropped it in front of himself, said, "Oh, here it is," picked it up, and nobody believed him. Like it was like everybody knew. I mean, it was a good plan, to try to get it back, to conceal the reintroduction of the stolen item back from after you stole it. Because, I mean, that was a really good lesson of like, oh, crud, it feels terrible to steal from somebody when the consequences are staring you right in the face. He was crying, he was sad. Like, we were all kind of sad for him, and it was just a very awkward situation. It felt like someone had stolen a pen from us. And then it was also stealing the time that it took to solve this whole thing. Like the opportunity cost is what you call it in business. All of the factors that are the actual costs, like what opportunities are lost, what could you have been doing with that time? Even just resting. But and yeah, and the anxiety and like just the hardship that you just put someone in. I saw that and I was like, I don't want to do that. That felt terrible. That was a horrible thing to do. And like, and then I moved away and I went to like an even more ghetto place, Elko, Nevada, for a year. Ended up ripping some kid's ear almost off his ear and like getting into fights and stuff. And that was where I did the old wait, what was I just harvesting? That's beetroots? Okay, so So I try to do like whatever seed it is of the thing that I'm demolishing, but I didn't do it for the first like 5, 6 rows. So, anyways, no, that was the one where I wrote that really good story. I mean, it got like an award or nominated for an award for my teacher or something. I don't know. I thought it was cheesy as all get out. It was like the cheesiest of mix of like Disney stuff and like, just like they knew and they didn't know everything, but they knew enough. They knew it had to go down. And it was about the fight. And it was a gang fight. Not really like gang, like bang bang, but we tried to start the Naranjas Noches because we're like orange nights, like mixing a play on words like the fruit orange, naranjo, anaranjo? Anaranjado is the color, and then naranjo, I think, is the orange. I think that's how it works. I could be wrong. I haven't spoke very good Spanish ever, and it did take 4 years in high school, but hardly used it since, unfortunately, which is a sad thing. I need to travel more. I want to go back to Costa Rica. Oh, no, no, wait, that's the wrong thing to do. Dang it. I need a hoe. Oh, man. And it's iron, too, so I'm going to be breaking that soon. Anyways. So, I don't know. I think it just needs patience and education and understanding. And I really think that we need to de-pricklify religion and politics. We need to disarm how harmful it's been. Also, wait, I mean, you know what? That's why I built this chest back here. You can just dump whatever you need back here. We'll dump produce. We don't need a boat right now either. We can throw the boat maybe in here. Actually, wait, no. Here in case I want to explore. This is like my useful chest. I got like, all the things, the tools, and, well, not tools, but anyways. What are we even talking about this episode? Ugh. So I'm gonna write a code about how to do parenting from what I know. And I actually took classes of parenting before, and I'm really glad I did because I learned a lot that I didn't know, and like mostly SIDS and like what to look out for, like making sure that you don't have any soft things in the baby's crib that they can suffocate on, because suffocation is very real for babies. Like they don't have the strength to move away. Like they could die. That's sudden infant death syndrome where they don't. I mean, most likely it's suffocation, but anyways, classes. Like we should not shy away from education. We should be able to teach in a way that is respectful. Because that's the other thing. That's why like sex ed isn't taught, and like drugs and substances and all that. Like it's really hard to talk about that. But fifth grade is when we started learning, and there were people smoking bud as early as like I want to say fifth grade, but like for me, I didn't start until high school. And even then, I'd say like sophomore year. But it was fine. Like that's the thing. Like not only were we fine, we were we were getting our homework done early, doing good grades like straight A's and stuff, but getting it done so fast because we were just relaxed. We lived like hippies. We were just chill with it. Like we would do the studying and like we would learn the stuff and jump through every single hoop, and then and only then and we had to be safe because our parents were prison, correctional staff. So we got searched regularly. We got checked. We got sobriety checkpoints. Like, oh my gosh. And you had to like, you think it's bad. And then like playing it off in front of cops because the cops are watching your school dances and you come in just drunk. Like, it's like, nope. And being able to have a good conversation with, oh, I don't know how he didn't smell it on my breath. He probably did actually, now that I think about it. But he knew that he could see that I was like coherent still and like not causing trouble. I don't know. It's mystifying, but my coaches knew. That's why I want to be a football coach. So I want to be able to guide some knuckleheads during their knucklehead years. Anyways, so I'm gonna write a program about how I do parenting, and basically a day at Daddy's Diner. That's what I call it. Like, cause I'm just constantly serving up snacks, making sure they're comfortable, making sure they got fresh ice water, making sure stuff's clean, they got good clothes for the next day. Like, and it's just a cycle, and like that's what happens right when I get home with them. It's just like boom, boom, boom. It's all we're doing, and it's all about them. And they treat me with equal respect. Like they know how to ask for things, to explain things if something doesn't sit right with them. And we always make sure that we have food, always, because that's the first step of not having fights. You're hungry, like the Snickers commercials when you're hangry. Like it's a very real thing. Also, I don't even know what we're doing. I was chopping up a bunch of wood. I got a ton of axes. Let's just continue doing that. Let's get wood for days. Because I think what I was going to do is I was going to start building like an underground village for all those villagers. I still want to make a memorial. That's going to be one of the the things coming up. Like I want to get like a water elevator shooting way up into the sky so you can see like over the land. Maybe over here is better. And I'm trying to see, look at the map. So the cherry biome is down that way. So actually, maybe it'd be best over here. Because I mean, I always just think that cherry trees just look great for like cemeteries and memorials and like if that's a real thing, like the people after life are able to inhabit like ofrendas or memorials or statues or monuments or whatever, then you'd want to build them in places with a nice view. Be like, you know what, look, I mean, I'm really hoping that there is an afterlife and they can just float around all willy-nilly and do whatever they want. Or maybe we wake up and we're actually plugged into a machine like Roy and it's just like, oh, man, I was a prick during that. And then everybody can rag on you, oh, hey, I did some really cool things. And everybody can, like, you know. But even then, like, you're not supposed to brag about the good things that you've done. You're supposed to let people see it. But I mean, I think that's dangerous too. Like I get why they say not to do that, like not to brag about your accomplishments, because it does seem like it seems like you're only doing it to get the endorphins released in your brain from other people being like, "Oh, how cool." And so, yeah. And it's just I don't know. But it needs to be done. So, and like leading by example, like one thing I do, and I don't do it well, like when I go on walks, which I haven't been on a walk in a while, I need to start doing that again. So I'm starting to get fat, and I need to worry about that because I'm getting older too. I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30, so like I'll be 37 soon, and it's like, whew, another few months. So just kidding. The people that already know my information and are trying to hack my stuff know like about the month, but I use a fake birthday for every different system. I don't know when my birthday is. Something says, "Hey, it's your birthday today." I'm like, "Oh, hey, cool. That must be." And like, you know, so, I guess so. I just imagine the confused looks from people like when they try to use my information. Be like, "No, that's what his birthday's supposed to be. This." "Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong birthday. I need to go now." And then they're busted because you don't know your own birthday. Get out of here. Who doesn't know their own birthday? I do that with everything too. Like, you know, like information. I've been doing that for a long time. That's why I was a great fit for the cybersecurity boot camp, being an ethical hacker, because I guess I was kind of like a little social engineer, but I would like intentionally feed misinformation and false information into like, you know, chat rooms, stuff like that. Everybody would. Like, are you kidding me? It was the wild frontier. And I had unlimited access to a computer because okay, this is one of my dirty little secrets. I hacked my family computer. Nothing fancy. I just happened to stare at the password when one of my family members typed it in. And then I had access to the computer. I was able to search everything. Clear the browser history, like, you know, make sure the cookies are gone, flush the data, and the first thing you learn is to cover your tracks. And so, but I was never like hacking into other people's computers. I just always thought that was stupid. Like, you know, how nosy can you be that you want to go read other people's secret stuff? I mean, I get the appeal, but don't. Like, that's just messed up. And especially the people that steal. Like, that shortcut, that quick, easy payday. And it's a shortcut in the sense that you don't have to see the pain felt by the person on the other end, but you got the money. So, and I had my credit card stolen. I used it in some sketchy places on the web, actually for some adult entertainment stuff. And yeah, some dude in Japan used it twice for 80 bucks at a gas station. Now, granted, I'm hoping that they got some good gas. Like, I mean, I'm hoping it actually did someone some good, and it wasn't just so somebody could like drive a Maserati or something. Like, I hope it was a struggling person, you know? Like, I mean, either way. And then chances are pretty good that they got caught. Everything has cameras. Like, they know where the number was used at. Like, they could pinpoint the exact place where the charge came from. Like, there's a paper trail for everything. So, you know, anyways, and that's even more so. That's why I love the world we live in now, because like the real people that need to get hunted, like the child predators, the murderers, like the people that really make mistakes, like, whew, yeah, they need to get got. And then they're the ones that should be in prison. But as far as everything else, these nonviolent crimes are just getting caught with something, like, just because it's an illegal something, like, you know, confiscated at the worst. You know, maybe some classes, or maybe give them a brochure for some affordable housing, or in some meetings and say, hey, if you can abstain from that, let's reward you. Let's make it worth your while. And really, that's the thing. Like even just showing some hope or like a trail to hope really goes far. When someone's using a bunch of substances and stuff. So, and even if it's not a lot, like what if they like barely ever did anything? They like get caught like one of their first times. Because I did hear something like when someone I know got caught and they had to pay a $3,000 surcharge for being a dealer, and um, their justification was, well, this wasn't the first time you've done it. We're sure. This is just a rough estimate of how much you've probably made in your life of dealing drugs and doing drugs, and like there's a whole spiel and stuff. But like, anyways, that's the 30 minutes. I'm gonna take a break. We're gonna hop over to some Elden Ring, I think. But I just wanted to get. Oh, and then as far as the doing, like, yeah, this is still a lot of musing, but reporting on what I'm doing. Actually, I don't know. Are we close to the top? That might have been a dumb idea. That was a dumb idea. Oh wait, no, never mind. Okay. So I did pitch the online voting model to Google. Oh, it's so amazing, but I got to be careful because like it's really a short jump from my professional life to my A-Rye life, and I really don't. I can't lose this job. Like I'll just say that right now. Well, I mean, that's the thing. I probably can, but I don't. I hate being unemployed. I hate all that, and I love my job. I really love what I do. So I do IT for higher education. Like I help professors and stuff. Like it's amazing. I mean, and of course I'm humble about it always. Anyways, no, the Google thing. Sorry, getting way sidetracked. So I just mentioned it in a comment. Actually, that's what I'll do. I'll use that developer thing, make a daddy's diner program to basically simulate what an artificial dad would do to constantly make sure that the kids are fed, watered, kept. It's pretty much like horses, only, no, I'm just kidding. And I haven't raised horses, but again, I know somebody that did. But, constantly making sure that they're good. Or running a Sims family, like, play The Sims. It's not a great indicator, but at least it'll get you ready somewhat to be like thinking about other people than yourself. And again, back to the food, the snacks. As long as you have like some food in your stomach, chances are you're not thinking about yourself. Or if you're not afraid of missing out on something, if you realize you got it good, if that's that gratitude, daily gratitude. Anyway, so I explained how the online secure voting would work, what I had so far, and said if anybody can do it, go ahead and run with it. And someone at Google's probably like, look at this crackhead writing some weird thing. But hey, he's got a point. Because really, at the end of the day, all we really need to do to get online voting going is to make sure everybody's comfortable with people knowing their voter ID number. That can change every election. And that still makes it anonymous, but they'd have to be okay with the fact that there's a small team of IT technicians that can see who you voted for. And I think that's what people are scared of, is that they know who you voted for, but at the same time, they know who you voted for just based on your interactions, like your discussions, like, there's no secrets anymore. So, I mean, it really does not matter. So anyways, that's my time for this one. Ta-ta for now. Be kind to each other. Think about things. Be grateful. And yeah. I'll see you in the next one. And I'm going to go write that code on the developer for Google. All right. Ta-ta.